Hey guys, it's time for another book video, or in this case a magazine video. This is the Hobby Japan magazine for the month of December 2017, and it's got these two weird Japanese guys on the front, just kind of looking goofy. Oh, actually they're actually kind of like gods of the modeling world. Here on this side we've got Max Watanabe, who's like one of the grandfathers of Gunpla, and then this side Yokoyama, who is the creator of ma.k, Machining Krieger. And it is the feature of this magazine, I guess, is going to feature some of their like differing styles. I guess that's what I'm hoping is going to be covered in this magazine. That's why I bought it, because I'm interested in seeing more about that. Usually I don't really like to buy these hobby magazines because while there's some nice featured builds in there, I tend to find that usually you can find plenty of good inspiration online. You don't really need to order an expensive magazine. The price of this is 900 yen, but shipping on these from Japan can be quite a lot. You can probably pay like 900 yen probably just for the shipping as well, because they're pretty heavy. They're a little bit large and like heavy paper stock. So usually don't really buy these unless it's something that I'm really interested in. So in this case, I want to take a look at this. So and then like even then, there'll be like 25% of the magazine is like interesting builds, and the rest is just like advertisements and stuff that I'm just like not interested in at all. So that's usually why I don't buy them. Here on the back, Saber from Fate. I don't really know anything about that, but I'm just the only little bit that I do know about that is just from perusing figures on E2046, and every single other figure is a Saber figure. So anyway, just getting into the magazine here, we'll just kind of flip through and look at some interesting stuff. Here's an advertisement for a new Mr. Spray booth. Looks pretty nice. I don't know what's different from the old one, but looks about the same to me. And then here we can see our contents laid out. That really cool Zaku from Max Watanabe. That's I heard from my buddy Ricardo. That's actually on display at a shop there in Tokyo. So I'm hoping to be able to see that when I go there in very soon. So there's some more stuff about that, other stuff that's in the magazine. All right, so starting off, that's the very first thing we've got here is the article with Max and Co. So this here is Max Watanabe's painted mega size Zaku. This is a mega size model that is all hand painted like that. I love that design on there. It's so cool, interesting, like unique. It's really artistic, but it still looks like realistic in a way. I mean, it's obviously a really artistic style. And as much as I hate chains on custom builds, yeah, even on this build, I gotta be honest, I still don't really like chains on it, but at least on a mega size, they look a little bit more to scale than on something smaller. Interesting rebuild of the kind of snoot part there. Otherwise, I don't know if there's really too much modification on here. It doesn't really look like there's a whole lot. Just some little bits and bobs here. Otherwise, it's just kind of adding the chains and everything included for that. But so let's see here. So here's just kind of, I think, just a preview going through that. I wish I could read what this Japanese said. I'm guessing that's like the title of this article, since it's on the front of the cover there as well. But anyway, this is just a conversation of them. I might have to whip out my phone and do some translating on this, or maybe see if I can send this over to our friend Link. Link might be able to translate this for us. I think this would be something that he would probably be pretty interested into, seeing as how he does know both of these guys personally. So you can see that painting style that's also there on this ma.k figure. And then just going through here, I guess this is just talking about first some of the tools that they're using here, is a lot about brushes and just kind of paint bottles for cleaning the brushes. Little paint trays, just kind of how to keep your brushes and take care of them. Looks like an array of different brush sizes. Here is also showing about like the brush strokes that you get out of the different types of brushes there, for example. Some different paint types and colors here. Some different Gaia. Those are Gaia Notes Virtual On paints, which I'm actually planning to pick up some of those in Japan too, because I don't have any, but they have some really cool colors. Some other paints here, Citadel and Vallejo paints. Those are both more acrylic based as far as I know, so I don't really have much experience with them, but of course they're very well known. So here we have the HG Zaku The Origin type C/C5 kit, recently released. So the first step there looks like he's removing some seam line there on the leg, and then just whipping out the paint and just getting to work, just painting right on the model, it looks like. No primer or anything. I've seen Link do the exact same thing. Yeah, so I guess you can do that. You're just getting right to work on painting that, then painting the inside in a darker color. So it's probably definitely like a personal preference thing, but I definitely like to do that when I can as well. Paint the inside in a darker color, I think it helps. And then just spraying some top coat, and then doing some weathering just right on top of that. Looks like just a kind of wash there. Weathering wash, just brushing some of that on, and then just kind of wiping it away to give you your nice warm weathered tone there. And then that's it. Original model out of the box, and then the painted version. Pretty interesting, pretty kind of quick and dirty technique, but really cool results. So here's applying that same kind of technique here to an HG Armblood Orphans Man Roadie kit. So it actually looks like painting on, yeah, just straight MS gray first. That's not primer, that's just straight up paint on there first, and then the gray, and then just painting the white over that. Takes a few layers to layer up that white to get it nice and solid, and then the orange parts, and then just the same thing, top coat, some weathering over that, and then that's pretty much it. I really gotta try this. Another couple builds here using a Zaku 1 and a Barbatos 4th form there. You can see some more examples. Some other examples here from these two. I don't know who they're supposed to be. Some people, maybe some Japanese celebrities or something, I suppose. One is a Mechatro We Go. It's the new Mechatro We Go kits that have like the bigger, bulkier arms, and then the Gundam local type. So I think this is just kind of highlighting, painting in some details. For the local type, he's just painting some details just straight on the kit. So it's not like fully painted, but just making it look better by just adding some detail painting on that. And then for the Mechatro We Go kit, you can see she went a little bit more creative route, which tends to fit the style of the kits, and painted this interesting design on there. So is the main article over, or what? What's going on? So another page here talking about some different painting styles for this. Some other stuff here, a little bit about talking about Warhammer. There's apparently a Warhammer shop in, where is that? I'm guessing that's in Tokyo. I'm not seeing an address right away, but I would guess that shop's in Tokyo. I'll have to check it out later, because that might be worth stopping there on my trip. I'm not really too into Warhammer myself, but I know a lot of people are. They would probably be interested in knowing about where that is. So this is talking about Warhammer and Citadel paints. And then we've got a feature here from Kei Shimizu. This one is about painting a Bigfoot kit. Not really too familiar with that, but the finished product does look really cool. Really nice weathering on that. And it looks like here's just now onto like the two big makers. I think it's saying like the two big companies here. This side is GSI Krios, which would be Mr. Color, and then this side is Gaia Notes. So I guess just talking about their paints. A little bit here about the figure painting as well. That's also pretty interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Just kind of going through the steps of painting like a face of a figure that looks probably 1/20 scale, 1/35 scale, 1/35 scale. Some military airplane model painting here. And now we're back to another Max Watanabe build. So this looks like it's a RX-78-2 shield, I guess the mega size shield. So it looks like he's spraying like metallic silver first, and then gloss black over that, and then brushing some like bright colors on under that. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it looks like an interesting mix of like green, yellow, blue, red, all in there, and then painting the colors over the top of that. So this is looking really interesting, really anxious to wanting to try some of this stuff here. So it's painting the red all over that. Looks like maybe 4 coats, it looks like. And then the masking and painting the white edges around that, painting the yellow part, just with a tiny brush, it looks like. And then the finished products, phew, man, you can't argue with those results. And then here's some more about that mega size Zaku. It looks really cool. I really can't wait to see this in person. It looks like he's using like the same technique. He just practiced drawing some of these shapes there. It looks like, or those are cut out. Actually, maybe, yeah, those are cut out of paper. So those are masked, just using paper, maybe? It looks like he is applying some texture there with the old putty mixed with the surfacer technique, it looks like. And then just doing the same kind of things, spraying it all silver first, and then just kind of building up the layers of black and then the color mix. And then it looks like you painted it kind of like darker first, and then kind of brought it to this lighter color. And it looks really, really cool. Just One more picture here on the next page is just the back of that. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing that in person. So we get into an advertisement here is about the battle log showing the Zaku versus the reversible Gundam here. We've got a couple of kits there posed up. So here is a bit about the reversible Gundam. So this would be a custom build of that. Here you can see some work in progress photos showing some of the customizations made to that. And it looks really good. I've just snapped up this kit, so I will be reviewing that for you guys very soon. I gotta say, it's a pretty nice looking kit. There at the top you can see some comparisons with the original and the new kit. It's not dramatically different, but it's just small little differences to make it look cool. And then about the ballistic Zaku as well. Some nice, just again, very slight modifications from the original design. Not much. Just kind of sharpening up some bits here, giving it a new color scheme, giving it an interesting rifle too. That's definitely not a rifle that was included in that parts set. I guess that was probably featured in the battle log. I actually haven't watched that episode of the battle log yet, so I don't know. But this build does look really cool, and that rifle does look super cool. I really wish that would have been included in that parts set. Unfortunately, it was not. We also got here a custom build of the Gundam Lightning Black Warrior. Again, just some slight modifications here to just make that looking a little bit nicer. The Gundam Dryon here as well. Also a cool design. A bunch more pictures of that. And then the Winning Fumina. I opted to pass on that one. It's a pretty okay looking kit, but not really for me. And Hyper Gyanko here as well. Whole bunch of pictures of that. Not really a whole lot changed to that from what it looks like. Any small changes though I suppose will definitely help to make that look a little bit better. The Gundam X Jumao, a recently released P Bandai kit. Definitely was not really too interested in that, but there's a nice build of that kit. A Jim Zigok. That looks pretty interesting. Looks like a mix of the Jim and the Zigok. I don't know, did this appear in battle log or something? Because here it is with the amazing Zigok. So I don't know, maybe that did appear in the anime and I didn't know it, but I haven't seen anything about this ever, so I'm first time ever I'm seeing it. I also have a bit here about the Accelerate Jinx, or Accelerate GNX. I will be getting this kit. I did pre-order this. I'm looking forward to that. I like the changes to this design. Not a big fan of those skate shoes, but though I think that you can put those on somewhere else too. You can put them like onto the shoulders there or something. So I'm looking forward to that kit. We have a Chinyagai here. Not to be confused with the Chinagai. The Chinyagai was the P Bandai variant that is cat styled rather than bear styled. So some photos of that. A little bit more here about battle log and the P Bandai versions of those kits. They're just the builds anyway. And then here we start to get into the advertisements section. Here is showing off some of the other kits, new kits and new P Bandai kits. Talking about that different version of the Shinanju and the Barzam that are coming out. Cheridam Gundam Saga there. And then into Iron Blooded Orphans Gecko. Some new stuff here. So I guess this is just a story, so I guess it's just a novel. So a lot of text there and just some kind of images there, CG images using some kits, model kits. So this is kind of interesting. There's the Gundam Dentalian Gecko version, so it looks like pretty much it's just in different colors. But more interesting is look down here. That is looking like a really cool weapon for the Gundam. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So here on the following page is an actual build of that based on the artwork. So it appears to me pretty much just a color swap for the most part. I think this modeler probably did do some small improvements to the design, but overall it's just kind of color swap to that and then built that really cool looking weapon. So it already is very like skeletal looking, especially the head looks like a skull already. So then it has this big, huge, very bone looking, like kind of weird monster skull looking weapon thing. That's pretty cool. On the next page we have just the regular Gundam Dentalian, also pretty nice. So this is just in kind of the regular standard colors there, a little bit tweaked. Some color tones are a little bit different, but I like that. And then the Gundam local type, North American type, the black local type Gundam. So nice build of that. What do we have here? Very nice looking, interesting take on something from Gundam Thunderbolt. What is this? So this is a custom ground Gundam S-type with some very interesting attachments. Not really sure what exactly those are supposed to be, but they look pretty cool. Guessing this is something to do with it being a desert type. Some more photos of that and photos of it like riding on this kind of very interesting looking transport thing there as well. And then we also have a desert themed Thunderbolt Zaku 2 and Big Gun here as well, where the Big Gun is actually mounted on top of like Magella attack tanks. That's pretty interesting. And then here about the how to build Gunpla Hobby Japan modelers. Zigok diorama here, and just showing a few other things. Nice build of the HG Zigok and building that into a diorama there with the gym classic scene. So I guess this is showing a little bit more about that. In this case, looks like he's doing some kind of scratch building, customized building here for an HG New Gundam. And I guess what he's going for is making the HG New Gundam to look more like the Master Grade Ver.Ka. So some kind of details about detailing up an HG kit. And that's the finished result. And I gotta say, yeah, it's definitely looking pretty convincing. A lot better than the original HGUC, and definitely a lot more like the Ver.Ka. Not fully there, but obviously it's much better than before. It's pretty close. Much better than I could do, surely. And then just some more nice photos of that. Really great reference material here for if you wanted to do that sort of customizing on a kit. A Senpu Ninja Exia. Interesting build here. A bunch of photos of that, and then now into the, this is the proper advertising section. So that previous part was just talking about some new things. So here's a whole big section about the new perfect grade, of course, about the new real grade, the new high grade Gundam the Origin kits. These are some P-Bandai exclusives and Expo exclusives, Gundam base exclusives, other new P-Bandai stuff here on the way, Master Grade, High Grade, a whole bunch of stuff there. And then this is getting to some Gashapon stuff, so I think these are the Mobile Suit Ensemble figures, about that, the Mobile Suit Ensemble EX figures, the new Gundam heads, Zaku Exceed heads, other advertisements for other Gundam related things coming out, new Converge figures, looking forward to those. And then for our fold out for this, we have a nice big poster of the fixed figuration design of the Wing Gundam 0EW. Very nice. But flipping it around to the other side, even better, is a big poster of that Max Watanabe Zaku on there, that mega size Zaku. So that's super cool. We'll have to cut that out and put that up somewhere. It's always a tough decision on those posters when they have something really cool on both sides. I think I'm definitely gonna have to go with that Zaku though, but this, always love those Katoki artwork posters as well. Here's about the Armor Girls Project Phaz Girl, a whole bunch about that, as well as the Gundam fixed figuration metal composite Phaz that's coming out as well as the wing kit of that. And then this is getting into some Macross stuff that's lesser interest to me. Crab custom design, Panzer Trampler. I don't really know what most of this stuff is now for the rest of this magazine, so this is what I mean why I usually typically don't get these. So now, like, from here on, for like the whole, more than half of the magazine is stuff that I don't really particularly care too much about. So kind of interesting stuff. New HMM Zoids kit that's coming out. Nice build here of a Shadow Fox AC and this Hexagear Rayblade Impulse and Governor Armor type Pawn A1 original color version. I like that though, that's looking pretty cool. I haven't been too interested in picking up some of that Hexagear stuff, but that build is looking pretty nice, I gotta say. Very cool, like that color scheme on it. And then here's the thing about these new X-Base LEDs. These are like wireless LEDs that work on this base, so you have to have them like on this base thing here, but as long as they're on that, the LEDs will work wirelessly, so you can kind of just like put them into whatever. They're just these like tiny little things. And so that will probably make for some pretty cool stuff you can do with that. A snowboarding frame arms girl here, and some other frame arms girl stuff. There's actually a Megami device, very pretty one. Majinga Jette. Warhammer. The Sturmkoffer, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. New design, new painted kit here. This one also from Max Watanabe, so you can see he's using that same style that he used for the Mega Size Zaku, painting style here for that, and it looks really cool. So some more cool ma.k stuff here on display. And here's something interesting. It looks like in December there's going to be some new 1/35 scale ma.k figures, some new capsule kits there. So I'm not sure if that's going to be new kits. The actual kits look exactly the same, but you can see there's a lot more of these. So there's like some little cats there and something that looks like a little dog, and then obviously the two girl figures there. So I don't know if that's going to be the capsule kits are now going to include those in there as well with that, or I don't know. Sorry about the autofocus and the glare here, guys. But anyway, that's apparently out in December, so very much looking forward to seeing some more about that. Some other stuff here, Ava frame arms, other Dunbine stuff, and a whole bunch of toy stuff, Battleship Yamato, other figures, Macross, all sort of stuff, Saint Cloth. Basically just kind of looking for anything of particular interest. There's a big thing about Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, from the recent movie, and then about the new Godzilla kind of anime series or OVA series thing that's coming out as well. Some new Mecha Godzilla thing there. Here's a bit about the Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon here as well. Looks very cool. Whole bunch about that. Some really nice big photos of that kit. All sorts of stuff there about Poe's boosted X-Wing fighter. So it looks like this is kind of a section dedicated to Star Wars here. First Order Stormtrooper, Executioner. Some other Star Wars stuff there. A Alien. Looks like we've got a kit of the Alien Neomorph. That's what it looks like anyway. That's interesting. All sorts of different collectibles and things. Figures, all of that. Mega House stuff, new Mega House Android 18, Mega House Pokemon stuff, girl figures and boy figures, and mostly girl figures, but some boy figures, and some SD figures, and some more girl figures, and girl figures, and girl figures, and girl figures, and tanks, 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 and airplanes, and airplanes, and airplanes, and airplanes, and airplanes, and airplanes, and submarines, and ships, and ships, and ships, and modeling techniques for that stuff, and cars, and cars, and cars, and then all sorts of new stuff, I guess, that's coming out for that, military models and things like that. And then this really boring stuff here in the back, and a little bit here about last year's Orazaku winner. So I'm guessing Orazaku Japan is maybe, Orazaku competition is maybe starting up again soon, 2018. About that from January, it looks like. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. That's an interesting magazine. The percent of the magazine that's very interesting to me is quite small, but it looks really cool. The bit about hand painting the kits like that in there, though, does look quite interesting, so definitely gonna study those pictures a bit, maybe talk with Link about that as well, and hopefully give that a try sometime here in the near future. So thank you guys as always for watching. Leave your questions and comments down below. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.